Okay, for the second part of this guided project, 11.2, we're going to flesh out the pages for Arbor Café website. By flesh out the pages, I mean we have one page that we built already, and it's called arbor.html. We're going to be adding the other two pages. One's going to be the specials page, and the other one's going to be recipe. They're based on the same Arbor code, so let's open that up. I'm going to click on the plus sign on my Chrome browser and find my page by going to github.com. I'll sign in. Actually, I'm already signed in. That's my username. IMed1460. That's my username. I'll click on the repository that has my username.github.io, and I'll click on Arbor. That's the directory that we created in the last assignment to put our pages in. We have one page, it's called arbor.html. I'll click on that link, and I get the text of my arbor.html. I'll click on the pencil to edit this, and let's see what the directions say. Well, first of all, we've done the first thing. We loaded up the arbor.html, and now we're going to open the GitHub editor, which I think I already did by clicking the pencil icon. Then we're going to find the top of the code inside the navigation semantic tags, and we're going to add relative links to pages that will be used by the website. So we have not created these pages yet, and that's okay because we're just going to work on the idea that we're going to have them. We already have arbor.html. That's what's open here. We already have we don't have the specials, we don't have recipe, but that's not going to stop us from using the code. So let's find the NAV, that's the navigation, it's on my line number 9. And it goes through line 15. I have home, specials, and classic recipe of the month. Home is going to refer to this page, which is arbor.html. There will be another page called specials, and there will be another page called recipe. We're not going to call it classic recipe of the month. We're going to be practical about it and just call it recipe. So what does this mean that we need to create relative links? Well, just like we've done before, all that means is we want to put in the href code that will link us to each one of these pages. They're all inside of the Arbor directory. So let's begin with number 1. I'll right click and copy after I select the text. Come back to the code, and since this is home, I click just before the letter H, and this is where our code will go. This is going to be an open bracket, and we add the A for the anchor and do an href for href. It's our hyperlink reference. It's equal to, open up a quote, double quotes, pressing Control V to put in the relative path, closing the quote, and then closing with another open bracket. The angle brackets then right after home will be added. That's where the link ends. So it's angle bracket / A. And this will take us to the Arbor page every time we click it. I'm going to let you do the same thing for specials and recipe. The links are already here, so the same procedure that I just followed, make sure that you do the same thing for specials and the recipe. Just know that specials is going to be the link, and classic recipe of the month is the link, just like home is the link here. Next, at the bottom of the code, and find the footer semantic tag and make the El Centro College an active link too. And you can't see it here, but I'll click on it, and it's a link to El Centro College, which is now Dallas College. So we want it to go to this URL up here. I'm going to click to select the whole thing, right click and copy. Go back to my code, slide all the way to the bottom of the page, and we have here the text that says this is a fictional page created for a class at El Centro College. If yours doesn't say this, make sure that you have the right code and you have this whole paragraph here. Yours might actually say your name. Mine doesn't. I'll be adding that soon. But I'm interested in El Centro College. I'll click just before the E, and just like I did before, I'll open up an angle bracket, start the A for the anchor, href equal to the link that I just copied, Control V as in Victor to paste. I'll close the quotes and I'll close the angle brackets. And right after the E in college, I will close the anchor by angle bracket /A. Whenever this is done, if I click here, it'll take me to the district page. So now that that's done, we're going to also add a new paragraph that reads, check out the rest of my site. I need to just copy that text, right click and copy. You could also type it yourself, especially if you wanted to say something slightly different. I'm going to close this tab. And so then right after the link that I just put there, right after that paragraph, I'm going to press and enter, create a new paragraph with an angle bracket P, pressing Control V as in Victor, and closing it at the end, /P. I'm going to hit the commit to make sure that this is saved, and click on the pencil to edit again. Now we're going to make an active link from the word site. That's this site that we just pasted or typed in, that links to your homepage, and it's going to be whatever your username.github.io. Let's click that. Also note the https:// At the very bottom, I'll find the word site that I just copied there, just before the S. I'll open up an angle bracket, do the A for anchor, href is equal to, open up quotes, and here's the address, https:// and like I said, whatever your username is, mine is imed1416.github.io. I'll close the angle bracket, or rather I need to close the quotes and then the angle bracket. Right after the E, I will close the link, angle bracket /A. So if the word site will be underlined. I will commit those changes and edit again. Following the directions, we just did this. We're going to add a link to the text back to the top that guides the user to the top. There is the text that says back to the top, or you should have copied and pasted it. And I think I'm a little bit too advanced here. I have what I was just about to type in there. I'll delete it just so that we're on the same page. It should just say back to the top like that. It's just a paragraph. And what we needed to say is it needs to have this link that says A for anchor href is equal to #top. #top is going to be the name ID that we're going to be adding in the next step. I'm going to highlight this and copy it. Just everything within the brackets. Copy. Go back to the code, and just before the B and back, press Control V to paste. V as in Victor. And it's saying that it's going to be looking for ID top, back at the top. Right after the P and top, I'm going to close the link, angle bracket /A. Now this top we don't have yet. The directions tell us that at the top of the page, we're going to be adding an anchor inside the header semantic tag, and we're going to name it top. And that's pretty simple to do. Copy this code. All this is a blank link. It says that it's going to name this link as top and then close it right away. So it doesn't really do much except that it exists, and it exists in your code. When you go to the top, you find the header, mine is on line 7. And right here, I'm going to press Control V as in Victor, and the thing that I just copied comes in. I had some extra spaces I'm going to delete just for looks. And so my header now has a blank link that says it's called top. That means that whenever somebody clicks on this link below, it will look for the for #top. That's the ID top. Whenever people click on this back to the top, it'll take them right back to the top with just that link. I'll commit the changes to save. We've done this. just now, but now we're going to copy the code for the page by pressing Control A, that selects all, and then Control C to copy. I'm going to click on the pencil to edit the page. Click anywhere inside, press Control A as in apple, that selects everything, then Control C as in copy. That'll copy everything. So this page, for now at least, is done. Make sure that you have added your links, however. I'm going to take a couple of minutes or seconds just to do this on my own. Make sure that you complete adding the links to those pages. Now that my pages are done, I'm going to commit the changes just to make sure that they're safe. And I'm going to edit again. Just click anywhere, and I know that I already did this, but I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to press Control A as in apple, Control C as in copy, and then I don't have changes to commit. If you have this green button, you can press it. I can delete that space just to make it green. I'll commit the changes. I'll click on Arbor to go back to the directory, and I need to create 2 pages. The first one is going to be called specials.html. So we add file, create new file, and we call it specials.html. Inside of the editor, just below here, I'll press Control V as in Victor, and that just punches in everything that we have on the other page. So if we were to save this right away, we would have a copy of arbor.html, but it would be called specials. We don't want everything in Arbor to be in specials, so we're going to be deleting a couple of things. After we do the pasting and putting specials, we're going to carefully remove the code inside the article tags. So the article tags are right here. I have them on line 18 through 28. So everything within, I'm going to select and press the backspace key. That deletes it, and now it's blank. So this is more of in tune of what we need to have for the page, and also what we want on the other page on recipe. So it tells us now that we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to select all of that text and copy it, and then commit the changes. So I'll click anywhere, press Control A as an apple to select all, Control C to copy, slide down. I'm going to commit this new file. So our new file, when it's ready, will be called specials.html. I'm going to add a new file, create the new file. This one is going to be called recipe.html. Click below, right next to the number 1. Press Control V as in Victor, and I think that by this stage we should have everything that we need for those pages. Now that we have pasted this, it says to add a link to the Arbor Café in your main page. So what main page are we talking about? I'm going to go back to my code because I have not committed. I'll click commit. So which one is the main page? Well, we know that Arbor is the home page for this site. Recipe is just a secondary page, as is specials. The main page is the one that is inside of your repository. If you click here, we've done it before. It's called index.html. I'll click on it. And this is the one that has your banner with your name, etc. And when people visit your website, this will probably be the first thing that they see. So we want to have a link to the anchor page. It's basically the same as the other pages. I'm going to click on edit and scroll down. Just below, this is a fictional site, the footer begins, and I have my name here. I'll click on, let's not put it on the footer, let's put it before that. Let's put it as in this is a fictional site created for a class at El Centro College, and check out the rest of my site. So I'll add a space, I'll put in an unordered list, UL, and close it right away, /UL, inside of brackets, both of those lines. Then between these, let's put in one list item, and that's going to be Arbor Café. Close the list item, /li, and if we want to link to the Arbor Café, just before the A in Arbor, I can put in an ahref equal to, and just like the links that we've used before, it's going to be / and then the name of the directory, arbor /arbor.html. We're going to close the quotes, close the angle brackets, and right after the E in cafe, angle brackets /a. So now I have a link in my main page that'll take me to my Arbor Café. You can expand this list by linking to other pages inside of your website. I'll click and commit changes, and then I'll click on the plus at the top of the browser to get a new tab, and I'm going to visit my page again, see what it's looking like. I'll put in my username, imed1416.github.io, and here's my page. It looks like my link's not working, but I'm sure it's still just saving. I'll come back and look at it in a little bit. Let's reload. Oh no, there it is. Okay, I'll click on Arbor Café, and then that takes me to the Arbor Café site that we're working. So that's why it's important to add those links. Check out the rest of my site at the bottom. I'll click on that. It takes me to this page. So we're beginning to see some real navigation. I'll click on Arbor Café again, and by now hopefully you have also put in the links to the specials and the recipe. So let me click on specials. That takes me to the specials page, specials.html. We will be putting in the specials in a little bit. That's going to be actually in a couple of videos. The classic recipe of the month, it takes me to the recipe page. Going back to the rest of my site, you can also do that. Going back to Arbor Café, you just make sure that all of your links are working, especially if you click on home. It should take you to Arbor no matter where you are. All of these should be working. I'll click on the direction, see what's next. Well, I think we're pretty close to the end of this one. And what we're doing is we're going to be adding the recipe to the recipe page. Let's see. I'm in specials, click on home, and classic recipe of the month right now looks like specials, which means it's missing the stuff that we took off from the article. That's what we're going to be putting in the recipe text. The recipe text is available in the link below the assignment. I'll click on it. It'll take me to a gist where I can copy this text by highlighting it. Right-click copy. Go back to my recipe HTML and edit. I'll scroll below, and in between the article, mine starts on 18. I'll just press Ctrl-V as in Victor to paste. And I have all this text. Just to make it easier for me to read, I'll delete that extra space. And I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'll press Tab a couple of times, and that just gets me to sort of where I want to be. Now it's up to you now to follow the directions. You're going to be adding a heading with the recipe name. You're going to be adding an unordered list with the ingredients, an order list with instructions, and you're going to be italicizing and bolding the text accordingly. I'm going to do that on my page and save it to show you what it's going to look like. But please, as part of your assignment, is to actually do the coding. It's not too difficult. And okay, I took a couple of minutes and I added my code to my recipe page. I'm going to go back to my site, and actually if I start from home and I click on classic recipe of the month, I'll probably need to reload this. There it is. So by following the directions, it says you need a heading with the recipe name, right? And so lemon chicken, I added an H2, a heading 2. Ingredients and instructions, I added paragraphs for both of those lines and added a bold. And then I have an unordered list for the recipe, for the not the directions, but rather for the ingredients. And then the instructions have an order list, so I have a 1 through 8. Arbor Café, we still haven't put in the picture, that's coming up. And then I can go back to home to see the Arbor page, specials, classic recipe. So you should be around here in your website. Once you're done with this part of the assignment, please click on, actually I was going to say home, but rather than home, I need you to go to your site. And this right here, whatever your username.github.io, which has an Arbor Cafe link, I need you to copy that URL, and then inside of the 11.2, find the assignment submission, text submission, write submission, and here paste or type your link to your page so that when your instructor follows it, they will click on the arbor.html and see how you're doing with your work. In the next videos, we're going to be putting in the some fine details to the pages and wrapping this this website.